Hi, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the January 7th, 2025 organizational meeting of the Pipestone County Commissioners. This time, I'd request everyone please rise.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Next thing we have on the agenda is the administration of the oath of office to our newly elected officials. District 1 County Commissioner Luke Johnson, District 3 County Commissioner Dallas Roskamp, and District 5 County Commissioner Chris Hollingsworth. County Attorney Demaine Sandy will issue the oath of office to our newly elected officials at this time. We'll do that in front of the plaque. I'm going to move the camera. See it?
Yep, just a second.
Just a minute, let me get organized here. Very slow moving, one dot at a time.
Pan and zoom, huh?
Yeah, more time. Okay, got 2 out of 3 in there. I gotta bring it. More time, just a second.
Is this picking up good?
Yep.
Okay, gentlemen, raise your right hand, please. I state your name. Do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Minnesota, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of County Commissioner of District, state your district, in the County of Pipestone, Minnesota, according to law and to the best of my judgment and ability. Congratulations again.
Thank you for that, appreciate it. I will take the signed sheets back and get those to Amanda. Yeah.
I'll let you conduct business.
Good luck. Thank you.
Good day.
Thank you. Stand by, just bringing the camera back in. You. One thing I liked about the old camera system better, is a lot easier to do.
Yep, you could pan that one a lot
Yeah.
quicker.
Okay, good. Okay, next on the agenda is the election of chairman and vice chairman. At this time, I will call for nominations for board chair.
Nominate Commissioner Hollingsworth.
I'll support that.
Commissioner Johnson, nominee Hollingsworth. Any further nominations? Any further nominations? Last call for nominations.
Mr. Administrator, I'd like to move that we end nominations and pass unanimous ballot for Chris Hollingsworth for chairperson.
A motion on the floor. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Nagel. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. No nos. Motion carried. Commissioner Hollingsworth is now Chairman Hollingsworth.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, Steve. At this time, look for nominations for vice chair. Open nominations for vice chair.
I'll nominate Luke Johnson.
Yeah, I will second that.
Are there any further nominations? Are there any further nominations? Are there any further nominations?
Mr. Chair, I will move that we end nominations and cast unanimous ballot for Luke Johnson for vice chair.
I'll support that.
Motion support for Commissioner Johnson for vice chair. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Congratulations.
Thank you, Luke.
Now,
Chairman, the meeting is yours.
okay. Next order of business looks to approve, to be approved the agenda. Are there any additions or corrections to the agenda as printed?
Mr. Chairman, I have one on the back page. I want to add two new sheriff's office Durangos as auditor warrants. That's the only change I have, Mr. Chairman.
There a motion to approve the amended agenda?
Yes, Mr. Chair, I'll move that we approve the agenda as amended.
There a second?
I'll support that.
A motion second to approve the agenda. Any further discussion? Not all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next order of business is the rules of procedure, resolution 590125. Was there in the board packet here?
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion a second to approve the rules of procedure. Any other discussion? Not all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion carries. Next order of business is per diem setting resolution 590225.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve the per diem resolution. Is there support or second?
That changes from 100 to 125?
Yes, I have a change of going from $100 to $125 for per diems.
Any discussion on the changes?
The list of eligible meetings are the same, correct?
Yep, no changes to the meetings. That's correct. And this will also be the same amount for our representatives that are on our committees too, from the public, that type of thing. They tag along with the same amounts that commissioners get, so it'll change them as well. Who did the motion on that again, please?
I did.
Luke.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? All right, I'll call the question. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, sign. Motion carries. Order of business is auditor warrant authorization resolution 590325.
Mr. Chairman, there are no changes to the auditor's warrants list for 2025 from 2024.
Okay, thank you, Steve. Looking for a motion to approve.
Mr. Chair, I'll move resolution 590325 auditor warrants.
Thank you, Dan.
I'll support that.
Dallas supports. Is there any further discussion? On resolution 55? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Sign. Motion carries. Okay. Workers' compensation elected official recognition resolution 590425.
There are no changes to resolution 5904-25. This is for workers' compensation for the Board of Commissioners for elected officials that we have with the county.
Mr. Chair, I'll move resolution 590425, workers' compensation for elected four commissioners.
Second.
Thank you, Doug. Is there any further discussion?
And maybe just a clarification that the reason for this is because as elected officials, we are not employees. That's why we need to make this specific resolution. We're covered in workers' comp. Just
Thank you for covering that.
Yes.
Thanks for clarifying, Dan. Any further discussion? Not all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Designated public depositories resolution 590525.
Mr. Chairman, there's one strike through here. I reviewed this with Auditor Treasurer Amanda Sandy, and she requested removing Northland Securities Pershing LLC as we do not have any funds that are with that. Only the reason we've ever used them in the past was when we had bonds and bond payments, that type of thing. That comes around again, we'll reestablish that for payments at that time. That's the only change for that, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Steve.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 590525.
Dallas.
second.
A motion to second to approve resolution 590525. Any further discussion? Not all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Elected officials minimum salaries resolution 590625.
Chairman, this is an annual for the county attorney and the county sheriff set by statute. This salary amount has not changed in for like forever. But that's the very basic minimum salary that a county attorney or county sheriff could be paid by statute in the state of Minnesota.
Make a motion to approve resolution 59-06-25.
Second.
Motion second. Any further discussion? Not all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right, designation of official newspaper, resolution 590725.
Chairman, we have Jill from the Edgerton Enterprise. She'll come up and
Come on
speak
down.
a few words
Come on.
about this.
John is at a conference, so he couldn't be here today. Pretty much the same as every other year. Only this year it's Pipestone. Been the legal newspaper the last year, and this year I think it's a 4% increase over last year.
Mr. Chair, I'll move that we approve resolution 590725, legal publication.
Motion by Dan.
I'll support that with a little discussion. Just thank both of you, Pipestone County Star and the Enterprise, for the fair reporting that you've done for us for me, for this past year, for sure. And speak to that. I'm glad we have two newspapers in the county. It's a luxury a lot of counties don't have.
Great. Yep.
Thank you for sharing the responsibility and the payment and whatever, how you all got that worked out, but thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dallas.
Mr. Chairman, just as a reminder, the official paper this year will be the County Star and the second will be the Edgerton Enterprise. And their rates are in there. You can see a list on the back of what their bidders are doing for us and making sure that we get the information out to the public.
And you'd be surprised how many people read everything.
They do. It's very nice that they're all online too.
But it still makes a difference to have a paper copy.
Yes, it does.
A
Absolutely.
lot of people like a paper copy.
You're right.
Thank you, Dallas. Any further discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All same sign. Motion carries. Thanks, Jill.
That wasn't so hard, was it?
This is Pipestone County Investment Policy Resolution 590825.
Move for approval.
Thank you, Luke.
Second.
The motion second to approve resolution 590825. Any further discussion?
Are there any changes, Steve?
No changes at all.
Nothing?
No.
Okay.
The last page on this would authorize if, auditor wish to, add another, institution to this would be a form in the back she would use that would be filed with the county that they chose to do that.
Any further discussion? Not all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Set Commissioner meeting dates and times for 2025. Like we already have proposed meeting days and times presented. Second Tuesday at 9 a.m. County Board at Courthouse Commissioners Room. Fourth Tuesday 9 a.m. County Board at the Courthouse Commissioners Room. And fourth Tuesday at 1 p.m. at the Hospital Board Education Room. A motion to approve the meeting times.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second. Is there any further discussion?
No changes from last year, Mr. Chairman and board members. You're welcome.
And all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We're gonna set the County Board of Equalization date, looking at Monday, June 16th at 7 p.m.
Mr. Chairman, I did confirm with, Assessor McChesney that would be the date of the County Board of Equalization.
Thank you. For motion to approve,
So moved, Mr. Chair.
thank you.
Second.
Luke. Motion to second to approve, Board of Equalization, Monday, June 16th at 7 p.m. Any further discussion? Not all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right, the committee appointments for 2025. Before we make a motion on this, is there any other changes anybody wants to voice right away or anything, or?
I'll make a request to, be put on Road and Bridge Committee. And if anybody would like the Fair Board Committee,
I also would open up any committees that I'm on as well too. If anybody'd like to do any trade on any of those, I'm open to that as well too. In regards to Road and Bridge, then we're limited on the number of people we can have on that, so we'd have to have somebody step down from that committee.
Who was on that?
Chris is the only one listed.
Oh,
I should be on there.
Luke should be on that
I
as,
thought you were, but it's not listed.
okay.
I don't think. Let me look again. No, it's just got Chris.
personally, I feel with Doug's previous work with Road and Bridge, with Highway Department, he'd be a natural for it. I would support that, but
And I also feel, since he is also on the AMC committee for Road and Bridge too, having that continuity, it makes a lot of sense too. Question is, I know Luke, you've pretty much been on that committee from day one, right?
Yep.
I'd be willing, given the circumstances, to step down and have you serve in that position for this year. I'd be willing.
That's where my experience
Yep.
lies, and I would like to get some time on there. So.
Absolutely.
makes good sense.
And it's no different, I feel like, when I stepped down from the Building and Grounds Committee to put Dan on with his experience that he's had, it made a lot more sense to me.
What page are you on? I can't.
I'm not sure.
Same thing, IT years ago.
On the back of the second page.
I went back to, I've got the 1/6 of 23 copy. And Luke is listed there on Road and Bridge.
Yeah.
So it just was missed apparently.
Yeah,
And now committee assignments, are these at the discretion of the chair to appoint, or these voted on? I don't recall. I think it's always just been a gentleman's agreement, hasn't it?
Kind of both.
Yeah. I think,
Consensus, I guess.
yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'd like to stay on there since I represent half the county.
Instantly.
I did have one other thing, I was an alternate on, Southwest 18, but that's not listed on this new one.
And it should be, especially now that they've reorganized that with Southwest Health and Human Service, or each county does need to have a primary and an alternate.
I was listed before, but this one isn't listed
Huh.
me on,
Yeah.
Well, it is on mine right here.
on the newest one, the
Yeah, it has-
January.
Dan, and then your list is alternate.
On the copy dated September 24.
No, the newest copy is
The
not,
2025.
the January 25, it's not listed.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
Yes, I have the old copy here.
we got both of them, you know.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I've got the old one from 24 and then the 25. So
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
trying to go between the two.
I'd be willing to step in on the fair board then in that absence then.
Oh, okay, that'd be good.
And I know what has, since it's open discussion right now, I know it was brought up before, but you had also expressed interest in union negotiations. Is that something that you'd also do?
Well, I'm an alternate on personnel. That does interest me, but it'd be up to either one of you to, to do that.
Okay.
So,
Some experience doing it now. And that was kind of the point, was to get some experience doing that. But if I know you had expressed some interest, if you'd want to, that would be fine with me.
on personnel. And then
Sure.
personnel is negotiating also, right?
It's a separate committee.
They're separate.
Oh, it's a separate committee?
Yep,
Yeah.
Which one are you saying?
union negotiations.
Oh, yeah, I would, yeah.
If you want to,
You're-
I'm fine.
No, I would. And you're staying in personnel then?
I'd like to, yes.
Yeah, and I'm an alternate on personnel.
Right.
Another,
Okay, so I'll go back to union negotiations. Chris, are you going off that?
Yes,
Okay, and Doug is going on?
yes.
Any changes to personnel?
I don't think.
Luke
that
and
this-
Chris, Doug is alternates, that
Yeah.
remains the same? Very good. Here, so.
Yep, no problem.
couple other updates that we need to make, explore Southwest Minnesota. Okay, that correction was made from the last one to this one. Erica replaced Mick on that. The Southern Minnesota Tourism, though, Mick Myers is still listed there, and I believe Erica is supposed to be listed there. I believe Mick is retired off.
Page are you on?
That is the second page. On the IT committee.
Mick Myers is off.
Yep.
That's Erica.
Yep. Then the next page over to Southwest Minnesota Opportunity Council. We still have Jerry Priester listed. He is retired from that board, and his replacement is Tammy Stahl.
Who's the replacement?
Tammy Stahl
Okay.
for Jerry Priester.
Stahl.
Stahl.
Okay.
You'd mentioned the per diems as well, too. A lot of these, I know that SMOC, the per diem goes from SMOC to the liaison person. It doesn't come through the board.
Right,
Yeah,
yeah. Some, if they're paid by the organization, that's
organization.
different. Some are paid by the county.
yeah, a little confusing sometimes.
Mhm. So if we could, just to keep me on track, and we've been had a lot of talking here, can we do this page by page?
Yeah,
Got everything? I know we're bouncing around a lot here, so. Kyle Kerr will be in here to talk about the planning and zoning committees. He'll be here shortly on.
he's here.
already
here.
Oh, Kyle is here. Come on in, please. Perfect timing.
I was kind of hid behind Kyle.
Yeah, I didn't see him.
You want me to go ahead and?
Sure, yeah.
I don't have much. Right now, our bylaws for the planning commission is they can serve three consecutive terms, so 9 years total. The two members of the planning commission that expired in 24 are Carrie Alderson and Cal Brower. They are both willing to serve another 3 terms, another three-year term. So we would need reappointment of those members, and our Board of Appeals. Tom Bobbendreyer has served 9 years. We do not have bylaws on those, so him being an alternate, I'm just recommending that we reappoint Tom for another 3-year term, which I've talked to him and he's fine with that also. And then talking with Steve, Dallas is the commissioner rep on the planning commission, and I think Dallas is doing a great job. We haven't had a lot of hearings in the past. We do have a gravel pit coming up in the future with this year at least starting off, so wait and see how things go. But that's my recommendation for those committees.
I'd be willing to stay on there.
And Kyle, that'll correspond with his term of office, right? So it'll be through
Yes.
27.
Yep.
Yeah, look for a motion to approve the recommendations by Mr. Correa for,
So moved.
thank you.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Appointments for planning and zoning? Not all in favor signify by saying aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thanks.
Okay, how long will Tom stay on then? Is this 3
3
years
years.
as well?
Yep.
Okay.
Thanks, Kyle.
Thanks.
We go through
Let's,
line by line.
why not?
Yeah, because there's some of them that changes to chairperson, so we make.
Sure.
So
Yeah,
we
I think
can
so.
get those.
Let's just want to hang out for a little bit, just in case there's any questions that'll come up.
Steve, do you want to go or do you want me to go line by line? Doesn't matter to me.
Oh, sure. Any change? I'm gonna go right after Board of Adjustment Appeals. Environmental Office, SWCD, any changes there?
Let me ask about that, Steve. I guess I'm listed as alternate. I didn't know I was, but I've been attending most of those, but is that
It's okay.
okay to do it as an alternate?
Yeah.
It is.
Mhm.
For any committee.
More so for me to learn it was the why I started. Yeah.
I think you could put that as that just has 2 members, because
Yeah.
there's never office issues, you two be the representatives along with 2 soil and water. Not an alternate, it's
Yeah.
like there's 2 members that serve on that. I think it's nice to have 2 board of commissioners represent.
Strike it as alternate and just
Yep.
two appointments.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Steve.
And their officers rotate also, so
So it's chair, vice chair from soil and water that serve on that liaison.
so Bill will be the new chair.
Chair, yeah.
And do we know who the next one is?
Brad Cruzelbrink. I'll confirm that and get it to Steve. That'll happen next Thursday.
Right.
Meantime, we can approve this today and if we can make corrections later if need be, so.
Okay, thank you. Dan, any changes to the Pipestone Area Alcohol Coalition?
No, there
Okay,
isn't.
that's still, if any of these aren't active anymore, please.
So the
let us know too. We'll take
SWCD
care of those.
meeting's gonna be on the 16th?
Yep.
Okay.
And we actually have got a new director there as well too, Veldhuizen. Miss Van Veldhuizen is our new director there. Sorry, I can't think of her first name off the top of my head. Nope, Tammy, I think.
Okay.
Southwest Regional Solid Waste Board. So is Dan an alternate or is
On
that?
that one, I think I am, because we only got 1 vote there, so I'm actually just an
Right.
alternate there. Now, the next one down on our committee here, our solid waste committee, that I probably should not be an alternate. I should be
That's just
listed as.
Right.
Noxious Weeds Appeals and Board. Luke and
Sadly
Doug on
doesn't meet
that.
often.
I haven't had a meeting on that yet.
So is that,
We hope you never have to meet, but
Right.
if there's ever a big issue, there does.
It's in place. Yeah.
Okay. I think I only recall meeting once.
They're getting on the side as needed, it says.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, right now on that committee, policy is that we don't take action unless the township action first. That's kind of what last meeting that we had, we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
But if there's ever a big issue, we'll
Kai, why don't you come back up so we can hear you on the mic? See, a lot of these are dealing with you.
We can hear you, but the people can't.
Yeah. Okay, so. District 8 land use, Luke and Dallas,
Mm-hmm.
and alternate is correct there?
Correct.
Okay. RCRCA Area 2, Luke and Dallas again. Meeting dates correct on that one?
Yep.
Okay. Missouri River Watershed Partnership, Luke as the principal and Dallas as the alternate, correct? Page 2, Lincoln County Ditch 16. Meets as needed. Luke okay with that?
Yeah.
It sounds like there are assessments that are happening with that ditch system that Sandy's working on, so
Okay.
not that there's any activity, but
We've only met once.
yeah.
Ditch committee is up to date with newest member Mike Zeinster listed there.
John Schaefer.
John Schaefer has retired out.
Replacement
Jim and
was
Tom,
Young.
no,
Oh, I mean,
Mike replaced Gary Griebel.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't there like DeYoung?
Elliot Young.
Young, yes, yep.
yeah.
Yeah, what
Larry.
was his first name? Yeah.
Sound right? Larry DeYoung.
There is a Larry DeYoung.
Mhm.
That who did?
Yep.
So he replaced John Schaefer then, Larry did.
So apparently we'll have to select a new chair when we meet again.
Yes.
How do you spell his name?
JONGH. Capital D first.
Okay.
Capital J.
Extension is the same. Kent Vanderloot extended his, so he will be on there again for another 2 years on that. On there, Doug and Chris and Amanda. Okay, that's fine. And Fair Board, any changes there?
Chris was gonna, did you say you were gonna take them?
Yeah, I'll take over. Yep.
SRDC Region 8. Chris from the county, Stan Townsend. And vacant township rep. That's been vacant for a number of years on the township, hasn't it?
Does that pose any problem? Should we actively be recruiting somebody from the townships for that, or is that not a problem?
I'd like to. It'd be more votes for Pipestone County.
Yeah. How do we get the message out that we're looking for people for that?
Good question.
Yeah.
It might be worthwhile getting a hold of Jeff Brackberg. He kind of coordinates a lot of the
Township stuff.
county township meetings, so he might be able to just send an email out to the group or something and.
Looking for anybody interested. That'd be great. Would you reach out to Jeff on that?
Sure. I can let Jeff Brackberg know, yeah.
I don't know what, as far as last year, Stan wasn't there. The city representative was Dan Delaney.
Mhm.
Oh, he must have replaced
He must have.
Stan then? Okay.
He must have.
Or was he there as ad hoc? Cause I know he's ad hoc on a lot of committees too, so.
That's a good question. So, but
I can check with SRDC and see what they've got for a city rep here, but I think you're right. Or maybe they wanted from the city too. I think Myron was on there.
he was,
For
and
that as well.
it is appointed by the board, so.
I know Stan was willing to, as far as I know, but
I'll reach out to SRDC and see what they know,
Okay.
if they confirm that.
And yeah, we're still looking for township vacancy. Yep.
MRC. Luke's annual rep, rest of the board is alternates. IT committee. Any changes there, Doug and Chris? Casey Jones Trail, deleted Mick and added Erica in his spot, correct?
No, actually, Mick is still on Casey Jones.
That's the only thing he does. though.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
He's not on Explore Southwest and he's not on Southern Minnesota Tourism.
Okay, I don't have him on Explore Southwest.
No, no,
Southern Minnesota Tourism, I have him on that. Are they, those both the same?
they're two different ones. So Mick is, they're two different groups. I know it sounds really similar,
Okay,
but yes, Erica replaced Mick on Southern Minnesota Tourism as well. But he is still on Casey Jones.
okay.
so he's not retired then.
Not completely.
Okay.
Everything but Casey Jones.
So it is Mick on Casey Jones. Okay. Okay, Private Industry Council. Doug. Okay, Prime West or Prime Health Insurance, Luke and Chris. The alternate, Chris, is that correct?
Yeah, unless anyone else is interested in being alternate, because it's been very tough for me to make that one. Otherwise, I would be more than willing to continue to be the alternate. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Yep.
Rural Minnesota Energy Board, Dan is the main, Dallas alternate. Time is still the same. Okay. Opioid settlement, Dallas.
Yep.
E911. Doug is the member, Dallas alternate, okay?
I do have a comment on that one. And the next one, I guess, those two are related pretty closely,
Mm-hmm.
but you got different alternates. Would it be smarter to have the same alternates?
I'd be fine with that. And really the radio board, I think I've only ever gone to two as alternate in
And
all these
I
years.
make most of them.
Yeah, and same thing before when Wes was here, he made more, well, too. Dallas, would you be willing to be the alternate for radio board as well?
I thought you were gonna keep both of them.
No, I would step away from radio board,
Well,
either way.
it just seems, they're so related that I
Yeah.
thought it'd be,
So either you or I
The
could be
same
alternate for
person.
that. So I can do it or you can do it. Doesn't matter to me.
Go ahead.
Okay, so we'll put Doug or Dallas, or excuse me, Dan on
Alternate.
E911.
Yep.
All right, sounds good. City, county, law enforcement, Dan and Chris. Southwest Drug Task Force, Dallas, Doug is alternate.
I don't ever get any correspondence on that.
I do go to almost all of them, but I don't know why you don't.
I don't ever get any notice of meeting or
Mike
anything.
Heyman sends that out. It's usually the same day as your Palm Creek. It seems like,
Library.
it seems like it's always.
Do you wanna notify me next time you have one of those meetings?
I can.
And then
Yeah.
I'll talk to Mike
You're on there.
at that
yeah.
time.
Yeah.
I figured they were investigating me, that's why I wasn't.
They are, I'm not supposed to tell you.
Next one is joint county, city, school.
We've never met on it,
We've never met.
but I think we'd just keep it there just in case anything ever comes up.
Yeah. I think maybe last year, the year before, we met once, I
time.
think, yeah.
Yeah. It never went anywhere from there, but in case anything comes up, then we don't have to wait for
Yeah.
board appointments and do all
Yeah.
this. and that.
Plum Creek Library,
Yes, I would like to stay on that.
okay, and I've got Dallas, and then if you flip the page, Doug is listed as the alternate for that. Like just the way the,
Oh, okay.
it's there.
I was looking for that.
It's just the way the pages work out when it's printed out. It's the alternate for that, so we're all good on that. And they meet, February, April, June, September, and October apparently.
And now the city had asked me to sit on the city's library board, but that's as a citizen, not as a commissioner.
Right.
Yeah.
You can take the alternate for Plum Creek if you want, if you're with the library.
Sure,
Yeah.
that'd be
I
fine
mean, that
for continuity.
kind of related there.
Okay.
Then going to the other side of the page, Southwest Health and Human Services, any changes there?
No.
Les is still the lay board member?
Yep.
Okay. Prime West Health, Dan, Doug is alternate.
And going back to that, have an alternate come to the meetings. I really appreciate Doug, you making those, because again, there's such a learning curve on that. It's really good
Yeah,
to be
there is.
there.
And it does seem like most of the alternates do
Yep.
attend.
Yep. Appreciate you making the effort to get up
So
there.
do you
for
want
those.
to, you want,
Oh, he's still technically an alternate. We only got,
It is, yeah, Dan's the only one that can vote.
yeah.
Doug's name is spelled wrong.
Yeah.
Huge.
There, I'll point it later, so.
This one's been in there since last year, Future Mental Health Board. And
Well, this is back when we were part of Southwest Mental
no,
Health.
this was, I think, going forward with the new mental health organization we have working with us now at the hospital.
Western Mental Health.
Western Mental,
Yes, I said,
if we become a member of
right.
that.
That part of that 18 Southwest.
No, that's different.
Oh, that is,
No.
you're right.
We were a member of Southwest Mental Health then when they left. So our services are through Western, but we're not a full member yet. But hopefully we will be this year.
Okay, so we'll just leave that at this,
Leave that,
leave
yeah.
that open.
I think, I don't know, Dan and I would probably both have interest in being on that when,
Yep.
if and when the time comes. Since I was part of Southwest Mental Health for a long time and Dan's been with mental health his entire time on the board.
And I don't know if be any purpose to go ahead and pencil our name in there at this point, anticipating that sometime this year, we're gonna
If
get
something,
something.
well, or if anytime something comes up.
You can.
Why don't we do that? Why don't you go
Put
ahead?
names in there if you want.
Well,
Or unless somebody
even-
else-
No, even for Western Mental Health.
For Western.
It could be a committee for for Western Mental Health.
Right.
Couldn't it be a committee for that?
Well, not yet, because
No,
we're
but you
not part of the
You
governance.
could put it down. It's coming.
It's
I
coming.
would like, you know,
So if you want to just go ahead and change that, mental health / Western area.
Okay.
And I think we'd be on that or alternate on that. I bet we only have one.
probably with that board, I don't know. Not sure how that board's.
So I'd be willing to take primary on that if you want to take alternate on that.
Fine.
Sarah Ackerman is the director there and I've mentioned her numerous times that it's time that we get into the
Okay.
governance part of it.
All
So
right, I'll go ahead and make that change for Dan as the primary and Chris as alternate
Yep.
for the Future Mental Health Board, Western Mental Health.
Yep.
Okay. Southwest Minnesota Opportunity Council, Dan, Evan, took Jerry Priester off, added Tammy Stahl.
correct.
Nurse Family Partnership, any changes there?
Nope, I'm fine with keeping that.
Health Insurance Committee is listed there, Luke and Dallas,
Kathy Festi has to be off.
Kyle,
Oh, yeah, Kathy's on there.
and Carrie. And flip page. Lisa Braun and or let's see. Okay. Back to Plum Creek Library, Dallas, and then I have at the next page, Dan is the alternate now.
Yep.
Is that right?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. All right, moving along on that page then. Building Committee, Dan and Doug, any changes?
No,
Okay, Personnel Committee, Luke, Chris, Doug, alternate.
Yep.
Okay. Safety Committee, Chris,
Yep.
Edison, Bruce. Kim Murphy, that's a change.
Is Bruce retired? Or
Right.
not yet? Not yet.
Wayne and Kathy are on that yet.
Hearing and TBD.
So then when we hire Wayne's replacement, then will that be an automatic or is that something? we
It's
have
just
to-
a department head. We can get a different department head if we want to.
Oh, I see. It says, it does say
It's
DH.
appointed, just a department head.
Yep.
We're covered with that. Rita's still on, Keith is still there. Harry's on now.
Oh, Kim's not there. Who was it now? Courthouse. Can't remember who was there. Somebody else
Alexis.
from,
It's Alexis from the assessor's office.
yes, thank you.
Okay. Union negotiations, Luke and Chris.
Doug was gonna replace me for this.
Okay.
for this. I don't even think we have any this year anyway.
Yeah, we gotta do that this year.
Oh, yeah, we do. Yep. Everybody, oh boy, okay, thank you.
Uh, Finance committee is all the members of the county board, including the auditor, treasurer, administrator, and then also Brad from PCMC on the next page. Your AMC voting delegates. That's all the same. I'll add those to the sheet that AMC sent out. I've got that in the packet too, so. Change there. AMC policy committees, anyone wishing to change or move from any of those? Okay. MCIT delegates, Chris and Dan as alternate.
Anybody else? I've been on that for a while, but it's also, if I don't make it to the AMC annual, then I'm not making it to MCIT meetings too. So if anyone's consistently going and would be willing to go on that, that's fine. Otherwise, I have no problems continuing.
They only meet.
What's your AMC annual?
Right.
Yeah. So it's not a big deal.
I think we can leave it like it is.
Well, we have an alternate anyway, so if I can't make it, then yeah, that's fine.
Audit committee is listed as board chair, vice chair, Amanda, county administrator. Road and bridge committee, Chris is on that, and top of the next page is Luke.
It was, that was changed.
Yep.
So,
Road and Bridge was,
so Chris is going off and Doug is going on.
Yes, correct.
Thank you.
That's why it didn't show up when I was on the next page.
Oh, yeah.
oh, you're way up there. Okay, gotcha.
So Luke and Doug will be on that. Okay, last page. Southwest 18, Dan, no change.
And then now Doug also is
Alternate,
alternate.
alternate, yeah.
Okay. Rock Pipestone Collaborative, Doug.
That's just a once a year.
CPT, Counties Providing Technology, Chris and Doug. Southwest TZD, is that still in
That does still
existence?
meet, yes,
Okay.
but again, I'll be open to that discussion too. That's more of a on bridge, things like that. If there's anyone from that committee that'd be willing to go on that, that's fine. Nick obviously meets on there.
I would take that.
Yeah.
I've been involved with that when I was working there.
Okay.
That'd make perfect
That'd be
sense.
great.
Yep,
And I'll stay your alternate on that. Now,
Okay.
I've never been involved in anything with that committee.
meets pretty much Zoom almost all the time now anyway, or if we do meet here at the EMS building or in Ivanhoe, it's been pretty much the two meeting places. But the last number been on Zoom, so it's been pretty easy to attend, so.
Put me on that, Steve.
Yep,
Did
got you down.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Veterans Memorial Committee, Doug and Dan. Pipestone Murray Joint Ditch 7 and 21, commissioners from District 1 and 3. As needed. Transit Committee. No changes there. AMC Research Committee,
So on.
all right?
Yep.
Okay. Highway 23 Coalition. Luke and Chris are listed there.
Yep.
Judicial Ditch Flood Task Force, that's an as needed, that goes back to 2019 when we had the floods.
Every 10 years.
Excuse me. Ace of Southwest Minnesota, Dan, Chris's alternate. And
Point note, I don't think I've ever received any email correspondence for that or anything, which is, I'm alternate anyway, but.
I'll let Jill know to put you on the meeting.
Thank you.
lastly, our Redwood River Watershed Partnership. Is that the correct terminology
I
for
think
it?
so.
Correct name for it?
Yep.
Okay. So Luke and Dallas, no change? Okay, all right. I got my marching orders. Go ahead and fix all these then.
So the ones. Chairperson, there was only, I thought there was more than one that said chairperson. Change.
Law library is what I assume.
And, audit.
Yeah.
Oh, I think.
Yeah.
There, that works too.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kyle.
Thanks, Scott. Okay, after going through all this, we're looking for a motion to approve the committee assignments for 2025.
So move.
Support.
Any further discussion? Not all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Steve. Next up, we have the Planning Commission Appeals Board appointments for 2025. I think,
Did that
we
already.
did that when we went through
Yep.
that. Okay. AMC Committee Appointments 2025.
There's a sheet in your packet with that. I have the information. Now, if there's no changes in that, I will go ahead and fill out the forms on the back of AMC.
Look for approval.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second to approve the committee appointments for AMC for 2025. Any further discussion? Not all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Transportation Projects Website Publication 2025.
This is an annual approval that Nick turns in that allows him to use the website, trade journals, along with our website and newspapers to publish information regarding bids, projects, all that type of thing for the highway department, transportation related construction, maintenance projects, and using the web for it, just as he's been doing now. It's an annual. No changes.
Move for approval, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Second support.
Second.
Motion second approved transportation project website publication 2025. Any further discussion? Not all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. 2025 mileage reimbursement rate of 70 cents per mile.
Yeah, Chairman of the IRS increased the mileage rate cents per mile for 2025 for business. Common practice is to follow the IRS federal rate on this. And part of the reason for this is not the cost of fuel, it's the cost of vehicles and everything goes along with it anymore to purchase, maintain, fix, all that type of thing. So it's increased a little bit by 3 cents for 2025. I'd recommend approving that.
I'll make that a motion.
I will second.
Motion second to approve the mileage reimbursement of 70 cents per month for 2025. Any further discussion? Not all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. To approve the 2025 meal allowance reimbursement rate of $50 per day.
Mr. Chairman, that's the same rate as 2024, and we did increase it from 40 to 50 at a year ago at the 2024 meetings. Recommend stay the same for 2025.
Thank you, Steve. Is there a motion to approve?
Yeah, motion.
Thank you, Doug, and support.
I'll support that.
Thanks, Dallas. I got a Motion second to approve the meal allowance reimbursement of $50 per day. Any further discussion? Not all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Guidelines for requested board resolutions and proclamations 2025.
Move for approval.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Motion second to approve the guidelines for requested board resolutions and proclamations for 2025. Any further discussion?
No changes to this, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Steve.
Just comment, I really appreciate having it all spelled out here really clearly for us, because again, if we don't have governance authority, there's no sense us having an opinion as a group on any of these issues, so.
Helps maintain the nonpartisan nature of county
Absolutely.
government.
Thank you. Is there any further discussion? Not, I'll call the question. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Well, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, now that we've gone through that, well, I'm looking for approval of the consent agenda. Is there any other changes, Steve?
Mr. Chairman, there's not. I'll have hospital warrants for the meeting on the 14th and have a lot of bills coming in.
Consent agenda consists of auditor warrants for 12/19/24, 12/27/24, and 1/3/25.
Move to approve.
Thank
Support.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Consent agenda? All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next up, it looks like we have Rebuilding Together Minnesota statewide affordable housing aid agreement.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, this is the agreement we'll work with using the state affordable housing money to work with Rebuilding Together Minnesota to work with rebuilding and maintaining and fixing homes in Pipestone County using the state funding for the next several years. This will go from January 1st of 2025 through 2028. And this is not any levy money, it's state money that's coming through to be passed through to Rebuilding Minnesota Together.
You have one question on this.
Shoot.
Do we know how much of this can be used for administration? Like on the next one that we're gonna talk about next, it does spell out how much they can spend on admin, but it does not on this housing one. This talks about the number of projects and whatnot, but
That question might have come up when we did a Zoom with her, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
That it came up, but I don't remember the answer though. And, you know,
or I don't know if it was really answered.
well, no, I mean for administration fee.
Right,
I don't
Yeah, I don't.
But it should be in writing anyway.
you would think.
Right.
I mean, otherwise theoretically, you could spend up all the money doing that. and
Right.
You didn't accomplish anything.
We need to wait with this if it's not on here.
I don't think we do, again, from the standpoint, pass through money. And we've entrusted this Rebuilding Together group to be fair and prudent with what they're doing.
And obviously, if they're gonna do the 20 projects or whatever, they gotta have money to do it.
And if later on, if we find out that they're taking a large percentage for administrative costs, we can address it at that time. But I don't personally feel it's an issue, but I think it's a good question. Bring
Very
up.
good question.
Yeah.
I believe I've got it in the packet. I'll have to go take a look at it. Let's table this until we go on break and I'll go see if I can find that information. Let's come back to that one.
Okay,
Is that all right?
sure.
Yep, that'd be good.
Let's just,
The Rebuilding Together one, correct?
yeah.
Yes.
We're building together. Let's just put that on. We'll come back to that. That's all right.
Then we'll move ahead to the SMOC Local Homeless Prevention Aid Agreement.
And this one, an interesting wrinkle into this, unfortunately, is that the money that we received in 2023 did not get spent before December 31st of 2024. I did contact Department of Revenue to see if we could get an extension on that, and they politely said no. So I am to return the 22,675 back to the Department of Revenue because we didn't use it. I did contact Smock down there and talk to Darcy about it, let her know that. She said that's not surprising that they wouldn't work with you on this, but she says, we'll be fine. We'll use what you've got and put it to good use. So unfortunately, I do have to send that 22,675 back to the state.
Okay.
And the
If I
reason
recall
for that is we
correct-
did not have an agreement in place at this with Smock at that time, and we had no place else to put it, so. We did get a little interest on it, if that means anything.
If I'm not mistaken, at the time we entered into this agreement with Smock, we thought that as long as we had the money allocated by the end, we were fine. But that wasn't the case. It had to be spent.
It
not
needs to be
allocated.
spent. And it was clear, so, we do have the 24 money we have through the end of 25 to spend it, and the 25 money goes through the end of 26, so. It's a year in arrears for that, so just wanted for full disclosure to let you know that did occur. And they're approximately, I believe I think it was like 26% of funds were for, and this one for allocation for, their work.
Yeah, 25%.
Yeah.
So recommend approval, Mr. Chairman, on that.
Thank you, Steve. Is there a motion to approve? Smock Local Homeless Prevention Aid Agreement.
So moved, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Dan, and
Second.
thank you, Doug. Any further discussion? Not all in favor signify by saying aye.
Okay.
Motion carries. Board my watch, it's 10:02, so I think we can have, is it ready for Chris? Have we go ahead and come on in? We have a home tax abatement public hearing for Jose and Teresa Lopez.
Chairman, I recommend motion to open the public hearing.
Mr. Chair, I move that we open the public hearing to consider tax abatement for 901 9th Avenue Southwest.
I'll support that.
That motion second, open the public hearing and further discussion. Not all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Public hearing is open.
Anything to report?
Anything to present?
Yep.
Mr. Chairman, there's nothing new on this since the last one. You have everything in front of you. The application is accurate. Work has begun on the property. Taking everything, so they're in compliance there. They have their building permits with the city. Again, this is the same information that you received at the last meeting when we scheduled it. We got several views of the home that will be there. And again, this is at 901 9th Avenue Southwest in Pipestone, Minnesota, parcel number 18-762-0300. Described as Southwest Acres First Edition, Lot 1, Block 2, City of Pipestone. Chris, anything you want to add regarding the value and the abatement on the back or anything?
The value on it that we estimate is 401,000 as far as.
Yeah, I do not have the exact abatement amount.
About 1140.
Yeah, it's in our packet here.
And the only question, I guess, just,
$1,140.01.
and then just to confirm that work had started yet at this point.
Work has not started yet at this point. The only thing that's there, I went by it the other day, and the only thing are there are marking flags.
Yep. It's in the-
Utilities. So no dirt has been moved.
Mr. Chair, I move that we close the public hearing for the abatement.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you, Luke. Motion second to close public hearing. Any further discussion? Not all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the abatement for the Lopez.
Thank you. There's a second.
I'll second that.
Thank you, Dallas. Any further discussion? Not all in favor signify by saying aye.
Right.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you.
Perfect.
Home tax statement passes.
Covered porch.
So they can start building, right?
Okay.
Right.
It's not off.
Thank you, Chris.
Yep. Again, Amanda would have been here for that, but she did have a meeting she had to go to.
We'll move on to other business. We're looking to reschedule our February 25th meeting to February 18th due to the AMC conference.
Yeah, let's do the AMC Legislative Conference. And I can also get a feel for who's going to attend, so I can get you registered when that comes out. It should be coming out shortly anyway.
Move to approve to reschedule to the 18th.
I will second that.
All right, is there any further discussion? Rescheduling the meeting?
Do you have the dates of the AMC conference?
That will be
6 and 7, 26 and 27, isn't it?
25th is
25th?
MRC in the evening.
Oh, yeah. And
actually, the meeting
6 and
start on the 25th, so it'd be 25th, 26th, and then
27th.
10, 27.
morning of the 27th.
Yep.
I haven't seen registrations for it yet, so they should be coming out shortly.
And the legislature will be in session, so
Yes, they will.
that's good.
They should be starting like today. Yep,
Fair's turn today.
should be, yeah.
Hmm.
Just like we are second. First Tuesday.
So they should have plenty of time to get their work done then.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a long session.
I bet. Yeah, especially with it being tied in one and one vote in the other.
Anybody know they're going? I'll put you down.
Yeah, I
Luke?
will.
I'm a maybe yet.
I'm a maybe.
Doug, do you know?
Not for sure yet.
I'll send you the information when I get it, so. But we're at that same hotel in St. Paul.
Intercontinental.
All right, is there any further discussion? About changing the meeting dates? I'll call the question. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Uh,
Motion carries.
Steve, you gonna get the notices out? Do we have to change?
Yes, yep, I'll get that to the newspapers. We'll change the date.
Thank you.
The other business I had written down is the approval of two Durangos as auditor warrants for the sheriff's office.
Just a little background information. Edison emailed me yesterday and said they picked up their two new Durango pursuit vehicles and dropped off the trades. So you got to, with me, so I can get the insurance work ready to go through MCIT. He hasn't got me that yet. So, these are generally paid for on auditor's warrants because you can't get the vehicles without a check. So it's not like they bill us for cars. So recommendation would be to purchase the two new 2025 Durangos and authorize those as an auditor's warrant for this Friday. They're going to need that this week.
To approve.
Just ask the chair to approve it, but since we're all here together, I'll just let you do it as a board action.
I'll second it.
Motion second to approve the purchase of two Dodge Durangos as auditor warrants. Any further discussion? Not all in favor signify by saying aye.
Right.
Motion carries.
No, we already approved the vehicles months ago to get them, but it's taken a long time to get them. So just basically, this is just the payment for them.
He did not
Quicker
get
though,
him
isn't it?
because he didn't.
Make them look quicker, yeah.
It's getting better. Here.
Getting better. So Chairman Rickman, let's take a quick recess and I'm gonna go see if I can find that information on the housing aid. That'd be all right.
Right. Call recess of the meeting for the determined amount of time. Thank you.
Put us on pause here a second.
We'll reconvene the meeting. Last order of business I have on here is the Where to go? Rebuilding Together, Minnesota statewide affordable housing aid agreement. We got some clarification on it. Looks like the administrative costs were roughly 10%, Steve? The amount?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Was there one on the floor already or not? I
No.
don't remember. There was.
No, I don't think there was.
Okay,
Just waited, yeah.
I'll second the motion.
Motion and second to approve the aid agreement. Is there any further discussion? Not all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, according to my agenda, that was the last order of business. Is there anything else, any other business come before the board today?
No, Mr. Chairman, I don't have anything else today.
To adjourn.
Second.
Moved and second to adjourn. Any further discussion? Not all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries, meeting adjourned. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Good job, Chris. Back in the swing.
Yeah.